What's up, people? Today we've got a replay between the teal Terran in the bottom left, the Burmese bandit, everybody's favorite Terran player. It's bbreed up against the pink, playing as random but spawning as Terran, the champion of this channel. It is yours truly, BubblyFrog. So this was just a custom game. It was TvR, and I did spawn as Terran, which is my worst race, so I gotta be honest, didn't really know what I was doing. bbreed going for a SCV scout. Maybe he suspected that I would be cheesing him, and likewise I suspected something as well, scouting for proxies, but neither of us doing anything like that. bbreed going for the double gas. Is this standard for TvT? I don't know. I don't play this. But that's what he's doing. Over on Bubbly's side of things, gonna be not getting that orbital, instead getting the expansion first. And remember, my motivation for this was to try to get as much of an early lead as possible, so I was trying to give myself a little bit of an advantage here in the economy front. I knew I was going to have to take some risks to potentially beat my opponent, who is happily mining off of 2 gases. He did get a Reaper that is going to take out my poor SCV. No. And he's going for a factory right away. Just one single Reaper. And it is going to be making its way across through these slow zones. 3 of them, actually. And I've already got a Reaper here as well, so I should be perfectly fine. Yep, gonna repel that Reaper. Not gonna be able to get it, unfortunately. And I do have my expansion up, getting 2 additional barracks as well as a factory. So I am gonna be going into bio tanks. And bbreed as well, going into tanks, getting a starport, getting his expansion as well. So all things pretty even right now. Worker counts pretty even, 23 to 22. I do have my base up a little bit quicker, so now I do have double mules. But he does have faster tanks and slightly better worker count. Sieging up that tank in the middle of his main base. So that's gonna take care of my Reaper that jumps in. Don't really get any type of scouting, which is unfortunate. And he's just continuing to produce tanks, getting some Vikings as well. The air battle is very important in TvT. That's one of the few things I do know about this matchup. As Vikings provide vision that can allow your siege tanks to fully utilize their superior range. And he is going to be lifting off his expansion and floating it on down. Now I have taken the worker lead because I had the slightly earlier orbital down there. But bbreed is moving out. He's got a few Marines, 2 tanks, 1 Viking. Not really a super scary army, but this is gonna catch me off guard. All I have is one tank, bunch of Marines, but they're not going to be too helpful against two tanks. And I have no idea this is happening. I'm completely in the dark here. bbreed kind of just chilling. He does do this a lot, just chills in the middle of nowhere. And if I were a better Terran and I was like out on the map exploring, maybe I could have caught that. But now the push has begun. He is just scouting with his Vikings, getting vision. I'm going to try to get some damage on them, but going to take some tank fire on my poor Marines. No. Now he is sieging up my wall. He's got the vision from the Vikings. I don't have vision, so I can't even shoot those tanks. And this is very annoying. I don't really know what to do. Just gonna keep churning out Marines, siege tanks. I'm getting some Vikings of my own, but I have some catching up to do. Sieging this tank in a poor location. Can I get away? Oh! Just barely. Nice. Gonna repair that bad boy up. And he's gonna keep bringing in reinforcements, sieging ever closer. Working away at this wall and just choking me out, which is very annoying. Now I do finally have two Vikings, and they do have the HP lead. So that's going to force his Vikings away. That's going to allow me to inch forward a little bit and hopefully break this contain. bbreed dropping a scan, so you can't move up too far until that scan is done. And now he does bring another Viking, which is gonna take out my Vikings, and we are back to square one. I did lose a tank down there as well. Now it's 4 tanks from bbreed, only 2 from myself. I'm quite supply blocked. Well, I was dropping 3 supply depots now, doing a supply drop as well. Another tank of mine going down. I think maybe if he just went in, maybe he could have just killed me right then and there. I have a lot of Marines though. They're not really that useful currently though. And losing the Viking battle once again. Oh my god. We do see bbreed kind of running away with this game, at least for now. He's got 5 siege tanks. He is winning the air battle with his 2 Vikings to my 1. I do drop down another starport, getting another reactor on that, so soon I'll be able to make 4 Vikings at once. bbreed still only on 1 starport with the reactor. So if I can get those up, get a good Viking count, that can be very helpful. He does take out one of my refineries, which is annoying. And again, losing all my Vikings. Oh my god, how many Vikings have gone down? 7 for me, 5 for him. Way more resources lost. And yeah, bbreed executing this push and contain very well. Not sure if he could really move forward. He does have a lot of tanks, but it's always tricky when you're going up against tanks from your opponent as well. So don't blame him for just kind of setting up this contain. And back at his side of things, does have the engineering bay. He can start getting upgrades. I don't think he has any yet. And oh, he doesn't have stim or combat shields either. Not that Marines are being too useful right now. But now it is 5 versus 5 on the Viking count. Now it's 4v4. But he does have a 5th one over here. I am still producing, well, supply blocked once again. Still producing Vikings, and medevacs actually. So that's going to be useful to heal up these wounded Marines. Army count actually in my favor, but again, just impossible to break out with this many tanks. Just kind of venture forward with a few Marines. Slight mistake from him, going to be losing those. And I do sneak up in the army count. I do have a nice little Viking army now, and bbreed, gotta be careful because these Viking numbers can snowball out of control. That's what I'm going to try to do. Going to try to snipe out all his air units. I do take out his liberators, and it is going to be just 4 Vikings remaining for bbreed, 6 for BubblyFrog. However, bbreed getting his gold base, and soon his economy is going to be booming. He does have the worker lead, and I'm going to be venturing out again. Going to try to take out his Vikings, and I am going to take out most of them. 2 remaining for both of us, so equalizing that count once again. But so many siege tanks still outside of my base. I do have the supply lead, and it is an army count, but it's mostly Marines, which I can't do anything with. I'm gonna finally clean up. Wait, no, still 2 Vikings over there, but I do have 5 Vikings now. Firmly in the lead in the Viking count at this point, and units lost has evened up a little bit on the gas, still favoring my opponent in the mineral department. 16 Vikings have gone down for me, 13 for my opponent. And once again, not really able to swing that in my favor. Now he's heading up missile turrets and a bunker as well. That's a pretty good move. It's going to prevent me from venturing out too far with my Vikings. And now this gold base up and running. 50 SCVs for bbreed to 39. Random engineering bay here. Not sure what that's all about. He has one over here, so I don't understand. But Viking numbers a little bit scary here for me now. 9 to 4. Also 61 Marines to 25 and 5 siege tanks to 4. So I have gained the lead in the siege tank numbers, but still going to be very difficult to break out of here. And every second that ticks by is more time for this gold base to gain value. Eight Vikings to 4 now. I am solidly in the lead in that department, but I still can't engage these missile turrets. Continuously pumping out Marines, which are still pretty useless. But this is the power of winning the air battle. I have the vision from these Vikings. I can start to inch my tanks forward a little bit, and he cannot do the same thing. Because if he gets too close, my Vikings are going to take out his Vikings. And eventually might be able to break out. That's what I'm trying to do now. Moving forward a little bit. I'm going to let my tanks take out this turret. And hopefully this one as well. And yeah, that's just the slow tactical game you've got to play in a TvT. I'm not sure how exactly I'm running away with the supply, because he does have the gold base. His economy should be way better than mine. Oh, I am slowly breaking out now. A lot of Vikings, 14 to 2. And bbreed He is pumping out 2 at a time. He has a second starport, but might just be too late to catch up in that department. So very good move by me, getting the double starport early on. 4 Vikings at a time. Still can't fully break out though. You always have to be very careful engaging tanks, so I don't do anything like that. This gold base still chugging along. I'm going to send 2 Vikings across the map for scouting, harassment maybe. And this is a good move. Sneaking in this secret base. I desperately need some extra economy as my base is pretty much mined out. Look at this. Still not really feeling confident enough to break out. These 2 Vikings maybe gonna land and find some SCV kills. Only 2. And I did drop a scan on that gold base, so not too happy about that. Gonna be taking out his Vikings once again at the front of my base here. 2 Vikings continuing to be annoying. 5 kills and 3 kills, that's something. Meanwhile, back on the eastern front, I have taken out all but 1 of the Vikings. Still can't really break out with 4 tanks out here, 2 more in the back there. But I can take out this missile turret. I am getting 1-1. My opponent already has +1/+1 on his tanks as well. And worker count 60-38. Wow. I am so far behind in the workers, but army count pretty good, 118. bbreed just rallying units across the map. So difficult for the defending player to break out. I'm gonna inch forward once again. He drops a scan, gonna take out one of my tanks. It's an even trade, 1-for-1. And my Vikings do take out that 1 Viking there. I spot his Thor, which I don't want to mess with. Thors do deal splash damage, and of course Vikings don't even hit ground when they're flying. Just want to get out of there. Gonna send some of my SCVs to long distance mine. I should be transferring more. And bbreed drops a scan. He wants to take out my poor SCVs. Not gonna let him do that for free. Gonna take out his Vikings once again. And oh, is this the moment? Here we go. Marines stimming out. But I see this massive, deep tank line, and I'm like, I don't know. I land my Vikings, and that is gonna be enough to clean it up. It was kind of costly though. How's the resources lost? Ooh. Swing in my favor actually, so pretty okay fight there. 14k lost for my opponent. 5.4 in terms of gas, so pretty good there. Now Vikings waddling on the floor trying to do some damage, and they go, wait, hold up. Why are we on the ground? Let's lift back up. And now finally, for the first time in 18 minutes, BubblyFrog is able to venture out onto the map and hopefully find some damage. We've got 1 siege tank here. That's not really enough to be too scary, but this is a good amount of Marines. Let's hopefully take this base out and even up the economy a little bit. I do firmly have the sky lead. Upgrades pretty even. Does have +1 on his vehicles as well. These Thors doing a lot of damage. 8 kills and 9 kills. 10 kills on this one. And oh no! Command center not even going down. Slight bit of harassment on this gold base. 3 kills on this bad boy, that's not bad. But yeah, not really able to take out that many workers, and definitely not able to deny this gold base. bbreed taking a 5th as well. Now I have equalized the workers 40 to 40. Now slightly in my favor now, 41 to 39, but he has had that gold base for a lot longer. I am now starting to mine this 4th. I do have this secret base, which has been very valuable. Let's take a look at the units lost. 17.5 thousand minerals lost, and 5.7 thousand for the gas. So I am quite a bit more efficient. As we can see, siege tanks I've lost a little bit less, Marines I've lost a little bit less, Vikings I've lost a little bit less. So in almost all regards, trades have been favoring Bubbly. And oh, this is a big catch! 3 full medevacs there. Wow, that was lucky. That is a huge pickup. And I think he did scout that base. Oh, he didn't scout that base. Wow, that is pretty huge. Not that he would really be able to do anything, but not having that information. And now all these Vikings, 19 Vikings gonna be landing in his main base. Vikings, they are surprisingly good on the ground. As you can see, just tearing up the infrastructure in his main base. He was looking to move out and is forced to pull all the way back to defend this. And the Liberator trying to siege up, but the Vikings just lift back up and snipe it right out of the sky. bbreed has been mined out from his main, a natural almost dry as well. So the economy might actually be favoring me at this point. Gold base is completely dry. Marine's going to be chasing my Vikings all the way back home. Now I do have 2-2. I am getting vehicle armor. That was a deliberate choice because it benefits both the siege tanks and the Vikings, whereas weapons would only benefit one or the other. Just one Marine slowly taking out this engineering bay, which was researching something, and I canceled it. That is pretty huge. Losing that to one Marine. Now bbreed going for a not really big attack here. Lots of additional barracks on the way for me. I need that extra production. Floating a lot of money. Getting my own gold base. And yeah, just getting the vision from the Vikings, trying to pick my fights. And now that I see he has no siege tanks in the immediate area, should be looking for a fight. And he's going to break down those rocks, try to go from another angle. The Marine count and upgrades going to be heavily favoring myself. And I am able to clean that up with relatively low casualties. bbreed, despite his high base count, despite his superior workers, just hasn't been taking good enough fights, and losing the Viking War is absolutely huge. A huge counterattack now with a lot of Marines. They are going to be taking out most of these barracks, maybe finally getting this base as well that was left alive earlier on. Big stim, and gonna be taking out all those bile. That tank, one tank up here defending, but that isn't really going to be enough. I don't know if I push up there. Just going to settle for this third, maybe set our sights northward. I went fully maxed at 200, 200. My opponent bbreed only at 64 currently. This is all done and dusted. He's got a lot of money in the bank, but can't really spend it. And even if he did, it would be too little, too late. GG gets called, and the people's champion, BubblyFrog, gonna win a legitimate TvT.